Hello everybody, I'm going to show you how I clean and retape a splint from my mallet finger. I've been doing this for almost 12 weeks. The splint comes off Monday. It seems to be healing well. So this might not be the best way, but this is the way I do it. In the beginning I made out a list of things that I need and a list of things I need to do as I perform this operation. You need some tape. Well, first let me show you, well, you can't see it very well now, maybe later I can show it to you. It's a splint that the doctor gave me. This is the tape I use. This is the CVS general tape. I think Walgreens makes a similar tape and other brands probably make tape like this too. It does not stick to you, it just sticks to itself. And I like that kind of tape. I cut out 3 strips, 2 of them about 4.5 inches long and 1 of them about 5.5 inches long, using a pair of scissors, some toilet paper to dry off the splint when I'm ready to do that, a towel to dry my finger after I'm done cleaning it, and I've got a washcloth. I take the washcloth and I soap it up in the middle, but not on the outside, because on the outside you're going to want to wipe the soap off when you're done cleaning yourself. So I like to start out, you got to keep this joint absolutely straight at all times. But the joint behind it, I've read you want to loosen it up, otherwise it'll get really stiff over a period of time. So before I start, I'll do a few loosening exercises. I might do a few more when I get some of the tape off. Okay, then you got to take the tape off this. There's 3 strips. I like to take the first strip off by hand, because one time I was trying to cut it and I cut myself. And so I don't want to do that, so I'll take the first strip off by hand. Once again, don't bend that joint, or you'll have to start all this all over again. Okay, the last 2 pieces of tape, I use fingernail scissors for this. So, the tape's off. Now you can look at the splint. This is the splint that the doctor gave me. It's really good because it keeps the finger completely straight at the last joint there. I'll do a few more of those loosening exercises now that I've got the splint off. Got the tape off, I mean. Okay. Now it's time to wash the finger. Take off the splint. Grab the washcloth. Wash the top and the sides and the end of your finger. Then put the washcloth down on the counter, and I like to rinse off. Before I grab my finger, I want to rinse it off so it isn't slippery. And I like to grab my finger with these 2 fingers so I don't drop it. And then slide it down the center of the washcloth where the soap is. Then, when I rinse it off, don't use really hot water. The top of your finger is going to be tender because the splint will do that. You're going to experience some stinging and burning on the top of your finger probably, and you don't want to make it worse by scalding it with hot water, so don't get the water too hot. And then to get the soap off the bottom of your finger, rub it along the edges of the washcloth where there shouldn't be any soap. Next, you're going to want to rinse off the splint with hot water. If the outside of the splint starts getting dirty, you can just rub it on the soap on the washcloth. side. Okay. Now it's time to dry your finger off. Once again, pick up your finger, wipe off the top of the sides like this. You're going to want it dry before you put it back in the splint. And then pick it up and take it across the towel to dry it off on the bottom. And okay. Then using the toilet paper, I dry off the splint inside and out. Usually use 3 pieces of toilet paper to do this. Come in from one side, come in from the other side. And then do the top and bottom. Get it good and dry. You don't want to tape it up when it's wet. Okay, this is a good time to cut your fingernail. And for the inside corner, which is sort of hard to get at, I'll maybe flip these over upside down and get it that way. Be careful. Okay. Then the splint goes back on. Be careful, don't jam your finger as you put the splint back on. So I've got 3 pieces of tape cut. The first 2 are about 4.5 inches long, and the last one is about 5.5 inches long. And it's important how you tape it up, because I have found, on the one hand, if you don't tape it up tight enough, the splint can come off in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. You don't want that to happen. On the other hand, if you get it too tight, you're going to increase the burning and stinging you get on the top of your finger, and you don't want that to happen either. So you have to find a common ground. So I start at the far end, and the first 2 strips I do not put on tight. This tape sticks to itself. I use the fingernail scissors to help me with the tape. First piece of tape has to reach all the way across, so it touches the other piece of the other end of the tape, so it'll stick to it. And then, without pulling it tight, I just put it over on top, make sure it's sticking. Piece number 2, about halfway down the first piece of tape. Once again, don't bend your joint. This one also, I don't do the second one tight either. Make sure it sticks, but I don't do it tight, because I don't want the finger burning and stinging. Okay, this last piece of tape, the longest piece of tape, this one does have to go on pretty tight, because this is what's going to be keeping it on your finger when you sleep at night. So once again, about halfway down that piece of tape, stretch it pretty tight, and grab this pretty tight. And I like to work it all the way down to the bottom of my finger. I want to keep the splint straight, all the way down to the bottom of my finger, pretty tight. Don't want it to fall off when I'm sleeping. Rub it on really good. Make sure everything's sticking everywhere. And it'll look something like this when you're done. Okay, let me check my notes here. Okay, there's a couple more things I want to show you now. I bought one of these online. It's a glove, a plastic glove that you can put on when you take a shower. It's helpful. Even though some water will probably get in there before you're done, it keeps most of the water out so you don't get this too wet. You're gonna probably want to change this after you take your shower. I've been cleaning this like this every day now for almost 12 weeks. One other thing I want you to see. You want a plastic bag, well, probably more than one. Plastic bags, like at least 10 by 10 inches, and a number 64 rubber band works best for me to do dishes and to shave and maybe some other times when you're working with water. Pull the rubber band down as far as you can because, if you're using a 10 by 10, anyhow, you don't want the water to get down there. It frequently does, so it helps to pull it down as far as you can. So I guess that's it. I hope that your mallet finger heals well and heals quickly.